Guys, today we've got the entire Nike Sneakers Day drop list, Travis Scott's new sneakers, and Kanye West's new clothing line and new album. Quick release recap, the week actually started off pretty solid with the Supreme Nike Dunk Rimmel Z-Pack. This was apparently the highest stocked Nike SB collaboration the entire year. I unfortunately forgot about the drop and turned up like 10 minutes late, and of course by that time they were long gone. We then had the New Balance 990 V6 WTAPS. They were just insanely limited and hard to get. And then to round off the week, yesterday we had the Jordan 1 Palomino. I think it's a really nice colorway, so let me know if you went for them. Alright, let's hop into this upcoming stuff. Let's kick it off with a release that's right around the corner, and that is this pair right here, the Terror Squad Nike Air Force 1 Low. These are going to be dropping on September the 16th. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this because I did mention these things last week. We finally got the actual first good image of the second colorway of the J Balvin Air Jordan 3. Now, this one's going to be called the Rio colorway. It's very, very similar to the ones that are dropping this month, the all-over white pair with the very same kind of gradient color effect on the back. Now, these don't have a specific release date. They're just dropping next year, summer 2024. But if I've got to be honest, I kind of prefer the colorway that we're getting this month anyway. And again, that pair drops on September the 23rd. Now, if you weren't really on the market for those new Supreme Dunks, well, how about this sneaker? That's right, Supreme and Nike are teaming up to bring us the Court Posit back. So the Court Posit is basically like a tennis shoe with the foam posit material. It looks kind of like something the Green Goblin would wear. So the picture that you're looking at is the actual Supreme version. It was teased by Carlos Alcaraz because he's a tennis player. This is a tennis shoe. So I think this pair of shoes was gifted to him or something. Nevertheless, this is coming very, very soon. If we've already seen it fully teased like this, then I imagine this ends up dropping within the next few weeks. All right, guys, Travis Scott's new sneaker, and you've got to stay with me on this one because it gets a little bit confusing. So for the longest time, we've seen Travis Scott wearing this brand new sneaker model, the Jordan Travis Scott Cut the Check. We've seen him wearing numerous different colorways. This is the olive one, we're all assuming. Travis Scott took to Instagram, he posted these pictures, and he also posted a picture of this sneaker right here. Now, this looks very, very similar to that Cut the Check sneaker, but according to Z Sneakerheads, you can see here that he's calling it the Travis Scott Nike Sharkadon. So despite it kind of looking very similar, apparently it's a different pair of shoes. And this model actually holds a lot of similarities to the original 1997 Nike Air Zoom Spiridon. As you can see here, the midsole shape is pretty similar, as well as like the lines on the midsole itself. Now, on top of that, Travis Scott posted more images of new colorways of this Jordan brand Cut the Check sneaker. This one right here, it's got a yellow and black midsole, a white upper with some teal piping around the sock liner and the back of the tongue. This colorway could very well just be the lighting, but this one pretty much looks all over yellow, and he's also wearing the same outfit as this shot here. As far as all of the information that we have, we know that there's 5 different colorways. 2 of them are going to be dropping this year, 3 of them are all going to be dropping in 2024. This one should apparently be dropping next year. Not to mention that we also got some official images of this pair, very, very similar to those freaking Air Force Ones that we saw where he literally just slapped the logo on the back. This is pretty much the same treatment. It's an original Air Mac Attack, pretty much the exact same colorway as the one we saw drop a couple months ago, except now this pair has a reverse swoosh and it also has the Travis Scott branding on the back. Nothing really else has been changed about this sneaker whatsoever. We also got some on-foot images of this pair of sneakers just in case that reverse swoosh completely changes your mind from the original Mac Attack. We also got a new release date for them, which is December the 2nd. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts down in the comment section about all of these Travis Scott sneakers. Are you feeling the Nike one? Are you feeling the Jordan brand Cut the Check model? Now, you know how I mentioned at the beginning of the video, apparently the Supreme Nike Dunks were the highest SB Dunks stocked that we've seen this entire year. Well, on the flip side of that, apparently the Yuto Horigome Nike SB Dunk Low was the lowest Nike SB Dunk Low stock for this entire year. Now, all I know is that I tried my best to get this pair of shoes, but I completely struck out. It was a very, very hard pair of shoes to get. So drop it down in the comments if you were one of the very lucky few who did manage to get a pair of these things. I'm here to remind you that Fear of God and Adidas said that they were going to be dropping a collaboration collection 3 years ago, and to this day we have seen nothing. We've got a couple new leaks though, so I will show you that. This is the first look at the Adidas Fear of God Forum 86 Low. So as you can see, it's got that classic Fear of God chunky, just smoothed out midsole. Overall, I'm actually really impressed with this pair of shoes for just how much it looks like a perfect culmination of Adidas and Fear of God. We also got another leak of a new model. This one takes a slight departure from the Fear of God design, I would say. It's it seems a little bit more Adidas to me. This is the Fear of God Athletics Adidas runner. The upper is a mixture of kind of a ripstop material and then this suede which wraps around the toe box. Overall, these look like they're going to be very, very comfortable. It looks like a relatively solid pair of sneakers. With all of these new leaks popping up, I'm just crossing my fingers that this is kind of it, and in the next couple months, or maybe even this month, we actually see this collaboration drop. All right, we got some brand new images of the upcoming Air Jordan 5 A Ma Maniere collaboration. This is the elusive diffused blue colorway. My main concern with this entire Jordan 5 collaboration is that they haven't gone as premium, but I gotta say the colorway is really, really nice. One thing I am liking, which I didn't actually notice about this pair of shoes, is the embroidered Nike Air logo on the back. It's very, very thick embroidery, so it kind of has this 3D effect. Now, just to remind you guys of the release date on these, it is November the 22nd. These are going to be dropping alongside that black and maroon colorway, so expect them both around the same time. Right, I thought this was a pretty funny story and also an interesting one that I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on, but take a look at the title of this article. Demand for the Adidas Samba has increased by 500%. And if you were thinking to yourself, surely the Pandas are more popular, well, take a look at this graph because they came with freaking statistics. Here's the Google Analytics for the search term Adidas Samba versus Panda Dunk. The blue one is the Adidas Samba. You can see that ever since the start of the year, it has just surged in popularity. I've seen so many videos pop up recently of people just hating on the Nike Dunk Low Panda because of how popular it is. Is that going to be the same thing with the Adidas Samba? I'd love to know your guys' opinion. Right, here's a look at quite possibly one of the best Jordan 1s to drop this entire year. This is the Air Jordan 1 Low Retro OG Chris Paul. These are now going to be dropping on October the 24th. They are looking so freaking detailed and so premium. I'm just super impressed by the overall look of this sneaker. So the name and theme behind this sneaker is called Give Them Flowers. That's why you see the very interesting kind of suede material on the top have that kind of flower pattern design. As you can see, the underneath of the shoe is kind of semi-translucent, so you can see all of the flower patterns, which I think is a really nice look. Overall, this is a collaboration that I'm really looking forward to. I hope that they are attainable and they're not some crazy, ridiculously limited pair of sneakers. This is the green colorway or the buttercup colorway of the Nike SB Dunk Low collaboration with Powderpuff Girls. So we finally have some full pictures of this pair of sneakers. For the longest time, it's been super cropped close-up images. Now, there's 3 different colorways as part of this collaboration. This one obviously is all over green and black, but it does come with a different material. In fact, every single colorway has slightly different materials. This one almost seems to have some kind of shiny leather as far as I can tell. All colorways come with this giant eyeball on the back, which is heavily embroidered. Insoles of these things are actually very, very cool. This is the Bubbles colorway, and as you can see, again, another switch up to that material. The 3 different colorways will feature slightly different insoles. This is by far my least favorite. What do you think of this pink one? What do you think of this entire collaboration in general? It's definitely a collaboration I really didn't think that we would see. But here we are, and all 3 colorways should be dropping this December time on the 14th. Now I'm gonna one-up those crazy dunks with this pair of sneakers. This is the upcoming Cactus Plant Flea Market Nike Air Flea 2. So apparently there's gonna be 2 different colorways releasing this holiday season. This is the Faded Spruce colorway, retailing at $220. I'll give you another look with all of the added extras that you get with it. Some pins that kind of stick to the pair of shoes. Obviously the giant Nike swoosh sticks to the side. And you also get a dust bag, which looks actually very, very premium. This is the second colorway, the Pro Green one. So the first one, Faded Spruce. They look very, very similar, but this one's the Faded Spruce. This one's the Pro Green, a slightly darker colorway. Either way, let me know what you think of this insane pair of shoes. My opinion is I'm actually kind of liking the fact that they're just doing something wildly different. I honestly wouldn't mind trying them out. Right, here's an interesting video I just wanted to show you guys because it's something that we've kind of discussed on the channel for a while, and that is the Off-White Nike Air Force 1 Mid. Now, this person actually soul swapped this pair of shoes to a regular Air Force 1, and it's something I've seen so many comments about, basically saying that we should soul swap them because they don't like the spikes. Well, this is the first person that I've seen actually do it, so I'd love to know your guys' opinion. Do you think that these look better than the original? So for anybody who really liked the colorway of the Air Jordan 4 Frozen Moments, but potentially didn't like all of the metallic details, or potentially just couldn't fit in those ones because it was a women's only, well, apparently the Air Jordan 4 Natural Gray is going to be dropping later on this year. So Drop Info's posted this mock-up, which is basically, I believe, the shimmer 4s just turned down all of the saturation to make it look gray. So just to keep in mind, this is not what this colorway is going to look like. It could look drastically different. Hey, maybe it could look relatively similar, but but it's not going to look exactly like this. So essentially, Drop Info says that it's going to be dropping later on this year for $210, and some people call this the men's version of the Frozen Moments Air Jordan 4. If this is right and they do end up dropping a colorway somewhat like this, I'm all down, because I'm definitely one of those people who really like the Frozen Moments colorway, but just not really all of those metallic details. Alright, Nike Sneakers Day, guys. Apparently this year it's going to be the biggest ever. For the first time, it's going to be a global release, so now not just the EU, the UK are going to be getting it, but everybody across the globe. Now we actually have the entire drop list, and I do want to give a shout out to Stash Sneakers, who gave me this information. They're a Discord group, but essentially they post a bunch of information about different releases, restocks. I've actually been a member of their group for a while now. They invited me, I think, at the beginning of the year. In my opinion, it's the best group that I've ever seen, just in terms of professionalism and actually good quality content. I did just want to shout them out because they did give me this information. They also offer to give you guys 10% off a membership if you did want to join their group. So if anybody is interested in joining this group, I will leave a link down in the description for you. Either way, let's get into this Sneakers Day information, because now we have every single shoe that's going to be releasing. So here's the entire drop list, including the time that it's going to be released and how many pairs are dropping. So the day starts off with the Nike Air Max 1 86 World Make Korea. This one is, again, the original 86 cut of the Nike Air Max 1, so it's going to have the big bubble. It's going to be limited to apparently 1,500 pairs. At 10:30, with a little bit more stock at 18,000 pairs, we have the Air Jordan 1 Low World Make Japan, or the Jordan 1 Sashiko. This is actually a really good looking pair of the Jordan 1 Low. At 12:30, we have the Nike Dunk Low Vintage Navy. This pair is going to be dropping with 20,000 pairs. At 2 o'clock, we got the Nike Air Max Plus Pure Platinum. This one's pretty cool, only 8,000 pairs, which is pretty interesting. Then at 3 o'clock, we have definitely one of the craziest ones, also extremely limited at 1,500 pairs, the Moo Moo Footscapes. And then one of the highest stocked releases that we're getting on Nike Sneakers Day at 31,000 pairs, dropping at 3:30, is the return of the Nike Dunk Low University Red, or the St. John's colorway. And then of course we're getting the Jordan 4 Red Cement. This is coming in at 40,000 pairs. Now the interesting thing is that according to Stash Sneakers, more pairs are expected to drop but aren't confirmed yet. So if it's any of those extremely limited releases, like people have been talking about, the Travis Scotts or the Jordan 4 Pine Greens or the Jordan 1 Lost and Founds, well, it will probably take place as a sneakers hunt. So there's 3 different types of sneakers hunts. It's a sneakers cam, a stash, and a scratch release. All of those are very, very interesting. I think they did a scratch release last year for the Jordan 4 Canyon Purple. Now, if you want a little description on what all of those things are, just pause the video over here. That is the entire drop list that we have right now. Potentially some others could be released through one of these methods, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Right, to end off today's video, we've got some pretty massive Yeezy news. Now, we've got a ton to get through, so to kick it off, this is the Yeezy Slide MX Bone. Now, we have taken a look at this pair. The interesting thing is that now it has a speculated release date for October 2023. Now, why I say this is interesting is because now it's the 2nd or 3rd Yeezy sneaker that we've seen with an October release date. The Yeezy Foam Runner Vermilion, that was another speculated release to happen this October. Potentially, we may see the next batch of Yeezys actually release in October. Whatever ends up happening, we do know that Adidas has more Yeezys to drop, and it's looking like it could potentially be October. Now, apart from the whole Yeezy and Adidas thing, Kanye West has been making headlines recently. The biggest one has obviously been him on the boat, where people thought him and his wife in Italy were very, very sus. In fact, a lot of people were calling for their arrest for public indecency. However, now we may know the real reason behind the whole Kanye West boat thing. But with all of the information that we now have, it seems like this could potentially just have been a publicity stunt. This would be to promote Kanye West's imminent new album. He's been working on this album the entire summer. So apparently Kanye West has been planning a career comeback, and he's been cooking up in the studio all summer. And for the people that have heard some of this upcoming album, apparently it sounds, and I quote, crazy. NBC News reported that West and Sensori had quietly confirmed new music is imminent after inviting a source into the recording studio to hear the album. Now, on top of a brand new album from Kanye West, this was also part of a publicity stunt to get their names in the headlines because they have a new Yeezy fashion collection coming. Now, this actually makes a lot of sense because the last time that we heard Kanye West talk about new clothes was that Yeezy sock shoe that he's been wearing, and he actually said that it's coming very, very soon, or in a couple months, the last time that we heard him speak about this. So apparently Kanye feels he's onto the precipice of a big comeback. So this is kind of what he's planning, and apparently this whole boat stunt and all of the other things that he's been doing, where him and his wife have been out in public barefoot and just doing some crazy things. They know all of that is going to get headlines, and apparently this is all to just promote his new album and his new Yeezy clothing line. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section, and of course, if I get any more information on this, which I imagine we start hearing some more things in the very near future, I'll keep you guys up to date. Guys, that is all of the news I have for you this week. We do this every single Sunday, so subscribe if you want to stay in the loop. And check out this video over here for the latest Jordan 1s.